Chairman of the Bengal State Center, welcome you all in this auspicious occasion, World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development. As you know, this is the first statutory program organized by West Bengal State Center after forming the state committee by our Honorable President, Dr. G. Ranganath. It is constituted by G. Ranganath, comprising of 10 state committee members only for the time being. So rest of the corporate members may be incorporated later on. So today I am very happy to announce that West Bengal State Center is going to organize an engineering congress in this year, December. So I would like to request all of you to please come forward to make it success. So now, today actually World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development was first proclaimed by UNESCO at its 40th General Meeting in 2019. It is celebrated worldwide on 4th March of every year since 2020. Highlights engineers and engineering achievements in our modern world and improve public understanding of how engineering and technology are central to modern life for sustainable development. The 4th March actually is the founding day of WFEO. The celebration of World Engineering Day is an opportunity to promote engineering as a career and highlighting how engineering can be changed the world for the betterment. The day is an opportunity to engage with government and industry to address the need for engineering capacity and the quality of engineers around the world, develop strategic framework and best practices for the implementation of engineering solution for sustainable development. So with this, I once again welcome you all in this occasion for observing World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development. Thank you all.
Keynote address will be given by Professor Sadhan Kumar Ghosh. I just introduce you to Mr. Ghosh. Perhaps he does not need an introduction. Dr. Sadhan Kumar Ghosh is a professor and former head of the Mechanical Engineering Department, as well as the founder coordinator of the Center for QMS at Jadavpur University, India. He is a prominent figure in the fields of waste management, circular economy, SME sustainability, green manufacturing, green factories, and total quality management. He has served as the director, CBWE, Ministry of Labour and Employment, Government of India. He also worked with Larsen & Toubro. Professor Ghosh is the founder and chairman of the ICON SWM and the president of the International Society of Waste Management, Air and Water. As well as he is also the chairman of the Indian Congress on Quality, Environment, Energy and Safety Management System. He was awarded a distinguished visiting fellowship by the Royal Academy of Engineering, United Kingdom, to work on energy recovery from municipal solid waste in 2012. He also received the Boston Praise and NABC 2006 award for the most eco-friendly innovation, conversion of plastics and jute waste.
I must thank the Institution of Engineers India, West Bengal State Center, for inviting me on the World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development with the theme of engineering solution for a sustainable world. Deliver the keynote speech. I can remember nearly around 25 years ago, I came to this hall for delivering a number of series of lectures when I had the patent of the eco-friendly plastic recycling machines. around, not around 18 years, 17, 18 years. Engineering, the institution of engineers, it has a great role to play with respect to the development of engineering aspects of life, as well as to address the recent areas of concern throughout the world, or the global interest. And in that way, sustainable development is one of the very important issues for all of us who are in the globe, starting from the child who takes part now and the person who is aging. But why we should be interested? Why we are to think about the sustainable development? Because the industrialization, the civilization forced us to use the material for our day-to-day life, for use of different types of products, and as the GDP of different countries are raising, as the income of different people are rising, the consumption of different types of material is increasing day by day. And as a matter of fact, if we consider last 50 years, we can observe, we can see the very steep rise in the increase of extraction of natural resources. Natural resources we cannot create. It has a constant volume. So, pressure of population growth, pressure of industrialization and civilization, pressure of our desire, all this makes the nature vibrating. Put the nature in a vulnerable role. And that brings us to a thought process that today whatever development you are doing, you must make it sustainable. Means your consumption pattern should be changed, amount of consumption should be changed, so that you can think of your next generation, and next generation, and the next generation is kept safe with respect to the utilization of the natural resources is concerned. And one of the two areas of my special concern for last 25-30 years are waste management and circular economy, green manufacturing. How engineering is related to this sustainable development? It is very much required to know what we are doing in a... okay, before I go to that, I want to show some slide. These are all required for achieving sustainable development. The first thing is, people must be aware of what is sustainable development, what is waste management, what is circular economy, what is consumption pattern, how the consumption pattern has to be changed, how the consumption can be reduced, how the wastage has to be reduced. All these things are not very critical to know, but it is very critical to apply. It is easy. It is easy to know, but it is very critical to apply, and it is very important to apply. I'll show you one slide. Here, from some of my research work I have taken, there are number of see, these are the name of the countries, some of the countries. India is also included. And the next column is, we are generating different types of waste. What are the different types of waste? Your kitchen is preparing food for you, but you will find at least 15% to 20% of the material which you are utilizing in kitchen, maybe a little more. Those are kept as a waste. You throw it away. You cannot consume. If you think of your factory, the raw material which you are taking, a major portion of your raw material is kept unutilized or at the end rejected for acceptance by your customer. So what you do, in many of the cases, either you don't know the leakage, or knowing the leakage, you don't have much to do but to throw it away, thinking that taking all those waste material will incur cost of processes, which will not add value to your profitability, to your business. What you do is you have a boiler and you are going on producing steam. You are very happy that you are getting good steam without knowing well that what are the leakages happening in the boiler on the pipelines. And even if you identify a very small leakage, you don't mind. You go, oh, it's a huge business, so forget about that small things. You use number of oils, engine oils or any other oil. Spillage of the oil. Many people don't bother. The stores, if you go to any of the stores of a traditional factory, it's my experience that in one of the factory I was a consultant, it was making the paper machinery. And when the boss, I can remember Mr. Sood, he was telling Professor, which is the vulnerable area which we have to look at the immediate effect. So I will do things. One, the inspection by the process people. And the second is the unused material in the stores. And he immediately put some 3-4% to explore the possibilities of improvement in those. You know that I am telling about the fact of around 2008-9. In the stores, total material was around 8 crore of rupees that time. And unused stainless steel, unused bearing, and many other things which was procured for a particular project. It was not useful for that, and they did not go for any return or any other thing. And as a matter of fact, during that time, 30 lakhs, even I can remember now, the recovery was made from the material which was lying idle in the factory. We have to bother all this today. The power, electricity. Oh, there is a generation of power, and we have ample amount of coal. So go on utilizing it. Don't think of any other. Do you think of reduction of the consumption of electricity? Do we think the employment of renewable energy source? We have to think this way. We have to reduce the GH emission. What is the carbon emission we are creating from our day-to-day activity, from our industrial activity? We have to consider all this. But today, people throughout the world are concerned about, they learned what is problem, and we have number of actions which have been taken. In India, from 2014, you know that we have taken a scheme, Swachh Bharat Mission. What happened? The municipalities, people are generating waste and throwing it in a big field, ground, and people are very proud that, oh, in my city we have 2 dump sites, we have one big dump site, and many of the Calcuttan is also happy by saying that we have dhapa. No. The material which is in dhapa, do you know how much money we are wasting? Do you know how much contamination we are creating for the aquifer? How much contamination we are creating in the soil, for the vegetable, for the people who are staying around, the emission when it is dried, the methane gas. I don't know whether you have seen or not. You can just think of it. The waste which is dumped, the fire is leading immediately by itself, either for the pressure or for the temperature. And as a matter of fact, huge amount of fire is there inside and huge amount of methane gas is coming out. What are those? GHG, greenhouse gas, which is very, injurious for our health, which is damaging for our health, for our society, for our environment. We have to think of all this. So here, in the table, I was telling that this way we are generating different quantity of waste. Today, if anybody says that we are generating waste and that is only 1 or 2%, the factory, people will not accept. We know Six Sigma. This waste minimization must be a component of objectives and targets in the organization, in the factory. The similar way, it has to be an objective at your home. So you see that how it is possible to reduce. The first thing, change your mindset. Change your thought process of consumption pattern. Don't take material which is not required. It is in the factory, it is at home. So by that, you reduce your consumption pattern. We sometimes call 3R: reduce, reuse, and recycle. So that concept has to be implemented in day-to-day life. Here, the similar way you see that this is per capita generation. All of us, on an average, we produce around 300 to 1.2 kg of waste every day. Think of it throughout the year, how much waste you are generating and where you will put those waste if you generate in that rate. So here, collection efficiency, the corporation, now that they collect the material, and percent recycling, percent composted, energy recovery, and other treatment. If you consider these 3, 4, These are the positive signature of towards your sustainable development journey. What's with India? If you consider 2013-14, we had only 15% of the waste which we were recycling. Today, it's nearly 50%. So as I was telling that Swachh Bharat mission has given us a tremendous scope for waste management in our country. In 2016, the Swachh Sarvekshan was introduced. What is Swachh Sarvekshan? There are 7 parameters in Swachh Bharat, and then each of the municipalities, they would have implemented all those, like how much collection, how much treated, what is the benefit of the treatment, how much business you are doing, so all those things. Sanitation, ODF. In 2016, when this Swachh Sarvekshan was introduced, only 72 cities came forward that yes, we will participate in that. And we will segregate waste, we will recycling, we will treat and all these things. 2016, it was started, and 2023, it's only 7 years time. In India, you won't believe that 4,242 cities came forward for this work. And we must give a big hand to these guys who are trying to do it. And the way in which waste management in India, of course, in 2016 we have also revamped all the waste management rules, industrial waste management, electronic waste, plastic waste, solid waste management waste, construction and demolition waste, rules we have incorporated very new, battery rule, the EPR, extended producer responsibility, so all these based on 3R, or sometimes we call 5R, and the circular economy. I'll come back to circular economy. So based on this, what we have achieved, the industry people are more aware on reduction of the waste. Like we call it, what is your percentage of reduction in your factory? People were happy by saying 1%, 2%. No, today is not 1%, 2%. We are not happy. You should go for 0.0001%. 0.00001%. It is not in 100. It should be in 1 million, 1 lakh, 1,000. Municipalities, if you go to any municipality out of those 4,200, you will find that there is a data management system. We didn't know that how much waste we are generating, but today, if you go to the portal of the ministry, you will find that how much waste is generated. If I know the fact, then I can take an action. So, this is happening in our country. You know that I will give an example of South Korea. A few years ago, they were just like India. The waste in dumping, it was around 80%. 15 years ago. Today, they are diverting only 3% of their waste to the downside. Then what they are doing? Recycling. Different industrial processes. Last week, I was in a study under my Norway project in a waste to energy plant. 15 years ago, India was not thinking of waste to energy plant. The NGOs and others, they were telling, no, waste to energy plant, it is only creating pollution and all other things. But the government has taken a very strict decision that we must have waste to energy plant. And today, What is waste to energy plant? You have waste, any types of waste. You put it in the mass incineration plant, that will generate heat. And this heat is utilized for heating water in the boiler. And the rest of the part is electricity generation, as comparable to thermal power plant. So what we are doing? We are substituting coal, we are substituting HSD by the waste which we are generating. What's the price of coal? And what is the price of waste? In the plant where I was there, my research scholar was also there, it is taking 1200 tons per day, 1200 tons, and it is generating 15.9 megawatt hour per day. Huge. Last month I was in Guntur. Guntur, there is another plant. Their efficiency is a little better. They are also taking 1200 tons of waste, mixed waste, municipal waste, and they are generating little more than 16 megawatt hour. India, we have 11 waste to energy plant. You know that the waste which we are generating today, the reserve which we have the potential of making 300 waste to energy plant in India. Huge. We talk about solar. Do you know what is the problem of solar power? Huge area you need. But in waste to energy plant, this 15 megawatt hour power is generated only in 2 acres of land. 80 people are working and 120 people casual working. So 200 people employment. So these are all the theoretical that why sustainable development is needed and emission and all these things. But you know that this is a very new concept today, the circular economy. What is circular economy? I'll just read. This is definition given by me in 2019 in one of my books. Circular economy is a system level approach to economic development. It's a paradigm shift from the traditional concept of linear economy. We go by linear economy. What? We extract the material from the natural resources, we produce something, we consume it, and then dispose it and deplete in the landfill site. But what is the paradigm shift we must have? Paradigm shift to an elevated echelon of achieving zero waste, no waste. Your question would be, if no waste, how it is possible? We cannot survive with no waste. My answer would be yes. How? Achieving zero waste by resource conservation through change concept of design of production processes and material selection for higher life cycle. Where is the relationship with engineering? Any product, it starts from the concept. So whenever you are at the conceptual stage, you must think of reduced resource use. You must think of the selecting the material which has a higher life. You must think of the material which has lesser weight, which has lesser volume. You must think of the other resources like energy, water, to a minimum extent possible with the maximum output. Of course, it is not very easy to design the process. That's why we tell that redesign the process, redesign the product. And this is the need of the day. You cannot go like Russian machine. You can remember, huge motor. No. We are very happy that we have a 5-star AC now, 7-star AC now. So BDE, they're doing a good job. And you know that search selection which I was referring to, which country I have around collaboration with 35 countries. Wherever I go, I tell them, imitate our model of search selection to have a good waste management. So, what is in circular economy? That means you redesign the production process, the sub-processes should be minimum, you redesign the material selection for higher life, conservation of all kinds of resources, material and energy recovery, all through the process, and at the end of the life cycle, any product, like this product, it has a specific life and intended use. So after some time, it will not be possible to use for its intended use. So what should I say? No, it's of no use, throw it away? No. The concept of circular economy is, at the end of its life cycle for intended use, you will redesign and reprocess in such a way that this material will be fit for use in a second manufacturing process. So traditionally what we call waste, we are converting this waste in circular economy and calling secondary raw material. So this secondary raw material will be input to a second manufacturing process. It may not be the same as the first manufacturing process, it is totally different maybe. But what is the benefit? As I was referring to, why sustainable development, that we are extracting much more natural resources than ever before. So utilizing this SRM, secondary raw material, we are reducing the possibility of extraction of natural resources for the second manufacturing process. So as a matter of fact, we are supporting the sustainable development. We are helping in reducing the extraction of natural resources by utilizing this secondary raw material, instead throwing away to the downside and depleting the natural resources. And thus, what would be the benefit in circular economy? To a new production process in the value chain with a closed loop material cycle that improves resource efficiency, of course, resource productivity, benefit business, this will generate a new business with this SRM, and the society, and creates employment opportunity. Of course, that new process will involve some of the employment, and ultimately this helps in developing sustainable environment. So circular economy, I'll request all of you, this is a very important subject for everybody, whether you are engineer or doctor or master or any official work, software engineer, anybody. Circular economy is the way of life in my language. You must not forget. It is very important. Two things are very important today. One, the effective waste management. Two, the circular economy. অনির্বাণ, আমি একটু বলো আর কতক্ষণ, হ্যাঁ, আমার ইন্ডিকেশন দিয়ে দেবে।
না ঠিক আছে, আমি খুব এনজয় করছি, আপনি বলুন।
Okay, so this circular economy is very, very important area of concern for everybody. I'll request you one question. I'll ask you one question. You know that you generate different types of waste at your home, plastic, the carry bag or many other things, metals, cans, textiles, paper, kitchen waste, and blah blah blah, electronic waste. How many of us, please raise your hand, how many of us segregate these wastes at your home? Like you have 2 or 3 bins and you put your bin and other things. Anybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe. You know why? In 2006, I requested the Kolkata Corporation Mayor that this will be the future need. Please introduce collection of the segregation waste. Give people benefit. Give people support so that it is done. You know that it was started in only a few 57, 58 there, and here 115 world. After that, you know, there are a lot of flow in the Ganges. In 115, I stay there. Even today, from 2006, the world is collecting waste separately. Dry waste, wet waste. And the dry waste, we call it material recovery facility. The dry waste again segregated and it is going to the recycling plant. 20 people are working there from 6 to 12 in the day and earning their livelihood. I requested several times the Kolkata Corporation, of course, very recently, last 1 year and a half, they have introduced this segregation at source in some of the wards. But we have to vary. The downside, I told several times that this waste, around 6,000 tons per day we are collecting and dumping. This is a huge potential for the generation. If we consider 5,000, there is a potential of generation of around 60 megawatt of power. There is a potential of huge employment, at least 500 employment, direct employment, and there are a number of indirect employment. We have to do it. We have a lot of scopes. In our state, we have a lot of scopes in different municipalities. And the engineering, like last month, August possibly, the COSME, they requested me, sir, we want to hold a conference on circular economy. And it is international. I told, okay, go ahead. Then I could manage to mobilize people from 14 countries to tell about what is happening in circular economy in different countries. European countries, Asian countries, including us. Russia, they came here. You know that I was very happy in creating the awareness on circular economy implementation among around 150 people were there. They're all MSME. And to many of them, it is a new concept. So in that way, I request the Institution of Engineers, please try to encourage the industry people, call them. This is the way of life today, circular economy. And circular economy is not only helping the society, circular economy will help the industry itself. It will increase the profitability, it will increase its sustainability in business, it will increase its image in the global market. One more thing. One, I told that waste to energy. The other thing which I have around last 10 years I am researching. The waste which you are creating, generating, you are not sure whether your building material, the cement, is made out of the waste which you have generated. Do you know why? Because today in India, we are utilizing this waste in the cement plant. We call it AFR, Alternative Fuel and Raw Material. What it does, you put it, a part of it is generating heat in the furnace. The rest like say ashy quantity and others, it is around 30 or 40%. That by the process is converted into clinker. And if you grind the clinker, it is cement. So if you put 100 kg, 100 tons of waste, which we are, and 32 types of waste, because not only municipal waste, steel slag, factory waste, some of the hazardous waste, and many more things, like discarded medicines. We are putting it into the cement plant. We are getting energy and also the cement. We call this process as co-processing. Co-processing of waste in the cement plant. There are several other processes, but these two processes are very cost effective, and from the government of India, I am also in the committee, we are trying to get more people to be involved in this process so that the waste dump is down. You know, NGT, National Green Tribunal, they told that there will be no waste dumping. Odisha, they are doing very good job. If you go to which city?
Sir,
if you go to, I can't remember, but I have the work in 9 cities. Out of these 9 cities, 5 cities we planned in 2019, and I went in 2022 for that study. 5 cities demolished downside. What they are doing? Collecting the waste separately. The wet waste, they are putting it into the compost, micro-compost center, and they are generating compost and giving it to the field farmers. And the rest, the dry waste, they are taking it to different recycling process and also the cement plant. So the residue is only 5 to 10%. That is going to the sanitary landfill. So this is the age of demolishing waste dump site. You are not to be worried that beside your house the waste dump site is there. And this is giving obnoxious gases and many other things. I'll not take much time. I know that Anirban don't have much time. So you know that this is one of my model for circular economy implementation. From the very conceptual stage, idea generation for product compatible to adopt circular economy concepts. And you know that recycling. Many people have the idea that circular economy is nothing but recycling. Forget it. It's not the right thing. If you don't take the material to be compatible for recycling, how will you recycle at the end? No. So you have to go for this, then eco-design of the product, resource conservation, long life material and all these things. So if you follow this, then ultimately you'll have a zero disposal. So there are a lot of things which we have to do. Like you know that there are 15 transformation areas practicing which we can go for decarbonization, which is another area of business, carbon reduction. And parallelly, this carbon reduction process, decarbonization process also helps the circular economy, sustainable development. Okay, I'm not going to this, and these are some of the businesses. I mean, you know that whenever we talk about circular economy and waste management, I always vouch that waste management must work as a business model. It is not a social model. If you treat waste, you must have something in your hand so that your family can be fed up. So waste management will be failed if you don't think of a business model. So, you know that I'm not going into this. There are several processes technologies for dry waste, waste to energy, waste to compost, plastic in road, C&D waste, construction and demolition. You know that construction and demolition waste, it is today recycled, and GBC, Green Building Code, it says that 20% of the building you have to use this recycled material. Otherwise you will not give the certificate. And it is not only in India, it is in most of the countries now. We are encouraging. Reduce GI fuels, that's okay. We have very good regulations. As I told that 2016, and this is the evaluation of source survection. Okay, there are a number of technologies, and each of the technologies, India has adequate knowledge. So, with respect to the technology, we are having ample knowledge. But implementation, we have to have the will to implement. This is some of the examples, like this is the Odisha which I was telling. I am with some of the researchers. These are all MRF, meteorological facility. This machine, you know that I got the patent for this machine. This is an eco-friendly recycling machine of plastic waste. So from this, plastic waste can be converted into the product. And I got this patent in 2007. And the government of West Bengal Pollution Control Board, they applied to the Indo-Canadian Fund, and they approved that time, 2006. 50% of the fund was given by the Indo-Canadian Fund to those who will use it. Number of people taken that advantage of it. This is Medicare. Even the biomedical waste also is a business. This is the cement plant which I was studying. That see, number of types of waste it can use. And okay, I'll not take much of the time. These are the biogas plant. These are construction and demolition waste, and decarbonization, pathway to zero carbonization, and all this. So I'll just come to the end that we must think of waste management and circular economy as the way of life. You know that I have taken a mission in 2021 to involve 50,000 school children, because हम लोगों का कुछ नहीं होगा by increasing our knowledge, but we have to take the young guys for sustainable development. So I have taken that in 2021, 1st December, that 50,000 of the school and college students, I will involve them in the waste management facility use. And in 5 colleges and schools, we have already achieved that 9,000 students and teachers are now utilizing it. In West Bengal, we have taken a mission of involving 50 schools, and you know, from tomorrow, 31st January we have already started. Tomorrow 11 schools are meeting. 15,000 students will be starting using this waste management facility in their school campus. And by this way, by 2025 December, I'll be able to involve and aware around 3 million of people to be aware of this in West Bengal and Meghalaya. Last part, you know that I have spent nearly 30 minutes on circular economy and waste management. And are you convinced that circular economy and waste management should be the way of life? Yes or no?
Yes.
So if I request you, technicality is okay, but the first is change your mindset. That is more important. If I think that it is needed, the rest of the actions will be taken. But if I think that it is not needed, no action will be followed. But now I request you, all of you, to take an oath with me for sustainable development in the world, so that we can achieve sustainable development goal in our country. So this will be only that we will adopt waste management, we will encourage circular economy, and we will try so that I can make at least 20 people aware of this system. So that will be a very good gesture as a responsible citizen from our side. So if you agree kindly, then I'll start the oath. Please, kindly stand up. And like this, I will read and you please follow me reading. Okay? Please, last page.
Like song.
Yeah, like song. I'll read now. I hereby take an oath in this institution of Engineers India West Bengal State Center today on 4th March on the World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development, that I will support the sustainable development by implementing effective waste management and circular economy in the day-to-day life. I will also encourage and make at least 20 people aware of the same for environmental sustainability and achieving sustainable development. Thank you very much. Thanks to patient hearing, and thank you all for taking the oath. And this will surely help us in bringing our commitment. Thank you.